The haunting of Maple Street. Greg Parker had been doing this for years. He knew fear and understood the weight of the unknown. But the moment he stepped into the Carter family's home, something felt wrong. The air was heavy, suffocating, like he had walked into a place that wanted him gone. His flashlight flickered as he pulled out his recorder. March 5th, 11:42 p.m. Client reports. Increasing activity. Doors slamming. Objects moving. A horned figure with red eyes. Possible Oni presence. A Oni. It's not a ghost. Not some restless spirit that needed closure. This was a predator. A hunter. Greg had just stepped into its territory. He moved carefully through the dimly lit hallway, scanning the shadows. The house was silent. Too silent. He placed a small talisman on the floor at the base of the staircase. The moment it touched the wood, the air turned ice cold. Then a deep, guttural growl rumbled through the walls, vibrating through his bones. Greg clenched his jaw. "All right, I know you're here." A loud bang from upstairs, then another. Heavy footsteps thudding down the hall above him. Greg aimed his flashlight at the top of the staircase. Two glowing red eyes locked onto him from the darkness. His breath hitched. The entity moved forward, stepping into the light. It was massive, its skin an unnatural shade of gray, its mouth stretched into a wicked grin beneath curved black horns. Greg tightened his grip on the vial of iron shavings and salt. "You've had your fun," he said, voice steady. "Now it's time to leave." The Oni's grin widened. The lights flickered violently, then died. Total darkness. Greg heard it move, fast, a rush of wind. Claws scraped against the walls. "It's toying with me." He forced himself to stay calm, feeling the weight of the vial in his palm. He had one shot. The Oni's breath brushed against his ear. Greg spun, throwing the iron and salt into the air. The particles crackled, burning through the darkness. The Oni let out a piercing screech, its form twisting, writhing in agony. Then the sound stopped. Greg's heart pounded in his chest. His flashlight flickered back on, revealing nothing. Gone? No, that was too easy. He swallowed hard, lifting his recorder with a shaking hand. Entity disrupted. Not gone, but restrained. "I'll need to come back." Crack! Pain exploded through his skull. His vision blurred. His knees buckled as he hit the ground. The Oni hadn't retreated. It had hidden. A deep chuckle echoed from the darkness. Greg tried to move, but his limbs wouldn't respond. His fingers twitched toward his bag, toward his last line of defense. A clawed hand wrapped around his throat. The Oni lifted him effortlessly, its red eyes burning into his soul. Its grin was the last thing he saw before it opened its massive jaws. Greg barely had time to scream before the teeth sank in. The recorder hit the floor. Static, then silence.